Hello, hello. It's almost time to get started. I took a few extra minutes to get on here. I need to find myself here. There we go. All right, we're good. Setup is good. You guys know the routine. As you're getting in here, go ahead and send me a little hello, a little wave, so that we can get started. I know that first one is me, so hey, Omar. You've been waiting, huh, brother? Man, it took me a little while to get on here because I had to make my coffee. I was falling asleep. Crazy. Um, Man, what did you think about the conversation earlier? Hey, Ozzy, what's going on, brother? Big hug to you, my man. Big hug to you. You probably missed my little quick. You fell asleep. Yeah. So I think the goal that I'm going to have is depending on the schedule for work, right? I will try to get on and do my lives at 5 p.m. I don't know if that's a time that works for everybody. Is you guys probably when you guys probably join me, I was probably doing like a late night type of hour. So we'll see. We'll figure something out. So Ozzy, I know that you were not on in the morning, but I was just like really, talking about the, of course, illegal immigration. But the difference is that what we're trying to talk about is here in Washington State. I forget where you guys are from, but here in Washington State, um, like every other governor, right, from every state has received a letter from Pam Bondi, and she is asking them to please comply with federal law and blah blah blah, right? And so I'm watching this New Hampshire. Oh man, that's Eastern time, right? I think I'm right. David, what's going on, brother? Tell me what's going on. What happened with Trump? What I missed today? I was really busy at work today, so I didn't really get much in. But what happened with Trump today, Dave? What did he do? Union Station. I don't know where the Union Station is. I mean, I know there's a Union Station, but oh, A17. Yeah, you're 3 hours ahead of me, brother. Well, I'm glad that I'm actually going to do this a little bit sooner. I think five. What do you think? 5 o'clock is a good time to go live. And David, I really want to know, why do you think that Trump is not cutting it? John, having a slow day? I had a busy day. Welcome to the chat, guys. Welcome to the chat. I hope you guys are blessed and you had a wonderful day today. It's not easy, right, to get up every day and be responsible in this world. We all want to get a little lazy. Remix, what's up? Welcome to the chat, my friend. No, like I said, I must have missed something if you think Trump is not cutting it. What's going on? What did I miss that Trump is doing or not doing? Let me see if I can get caught up in here, man. What the heck did I miss? Thank you, Remix. I am now, man. I really busy at work, which is crazy because then it was like pretty dead for a while. And oh my God, I get so sleepy. I have to stay active. Let me see. Nebraska is broke, says Daniel. Oh, I want to hear what's going on. David, what's going on with Donald Trump? Let's see. Critics are convinced that 79-year-old is illiterate, while others suspect he simply doesn't read any executive order he signs because he refuses to wear glasses. There could be a thing. That could be a thing. Noise like MAGA. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. Was America great for Emmett Till or George Stinney? I don't even know who those are, guy. I'm sorry. Never heard their names. Something I might have missed in my history. I apologize about that. Dark mango psychology. Man, mangoes are one of my favorite fruits from Honduras, man. Stop playing with my emotions in here. Coconut. Emilio Morales says that you guys love me so much. I appreciate it. Ozzy, let's see. Daniel's Doomsday. Spare us your fake outrage. You tell him, Ozzy. Eat him alive. So, you know, I always find it very interesting that the comments that people say, you guys know that I use glasses, right? So I use reading glasses as well. Now, especially when my eyes are really tired, I really need them. But I'm doing my live on my phone for the reason that when I do a live on my desktop, it's just you guys don't get on. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. I did look at statistics, and it says that 95% of the people are actually connected to mobile devices now. So, you know, this is why you guys see a lot of my mobile lives. Now, I will say this. Trump has made many speeches, and he still has to read a lot of things. If you believe that he cannot read, that he's illiterate, as they say, illiterate, 79-year-old, they say. It's the Atlanta Black Star News. What the hell is that? If you believe that, that means that you believe that Donald Trump is a freaking genius. Because for all the stuff that he says, can you imagine if that all comes out of memory? That's pretty amazing. Now, I watched him when he's done his live, his interviews and stuff, and he is reading teleprompters. So maybe the teleprompters have really big letters. That could be a thing. But I think that if somebody doesn't want to read a letter out loud, I think everybody should respect that. Let's see. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's what you were talking about. Where is Oscar Vile? Trump says Fed cooked to be fired. There's a lot of people that still need to be fired, guys. A lot of people. You know what? Even though Pam Bondi had made that mistake, right, to say that she had all the Epstein file things on her desk, I didn't take it literally. There's no way that somebody's just going to put files on their desk after all the other hundreds of things that need to get done in government, especially as an attorney general. But regardless, she made a mistake on the way she announced it. And I think that, you know, we all make mistakes. But for the most part, I think she's doing a great job. Not making excuses for her, just saying. You guys are intentionally being stupid, right? Gotta be, says Cornelius. Cornelius thinks that, wait, Cornelius, why do you say that before I continue? Chris Apaza, damn bro, get out of America. We don't need you here. Welcome back to the chat, my friend. Pinche loco en la cabeza ese. Supposedly they are releasing them Friday, but who cares? I agree. We need to make America great again. And what a great job, says Omar. Karen Slater says, bro is cooked. Wisdom, do you have family, a wife, kids? Wisdom is trying to support people's families here. Ellie Flores says, you make excuses for Trump too. I may be biased, Ellie. And I think that the reason why I make excuses for him, right, maybe not knowingly, the reason why I make excuses for him is because for the last couple of decades, I am tired of corrupted Democrat politicians lying to me, lying to the black communities, lying to the American people about everything. And the thing that pisses me off is they cry wolf, 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 and nothing is going on. They lie so much. They say they fight for democracy while they are themselves destroying democracy by cheating elections. Guys, how can I defend these corrupted politicians when they're cheating elections? They say democracy, but what they're doing is they're cheating. They're lying to us about that they care about democracy. I care about democracy. I care about votes being counted. You know, the here in Washington State, we had a piece of junk governor that was called, or I guess he's still alive. His name is Jay Inslee. You might have heard something, you know, in social media. F. Inslee, right? He screwed over so many Washingtonians here. And the second or third time I think that he won, you know what they did? First of all, we found out that dead people were voting for him to be governor. The second thing is they stopped the vote counting early because they said, oh, we have reached the majority of the votes needed to beat the amount of votes that will be contra or you know, against. And so to me, it sounds fishy. It sounds like somebody is hiding something. And I say this, let the votes count all the way to the last ballot. Why? Because if there was an extra 260,000 extra votes in there that don't belong, we would have found out or figured out that is illegal immigrants voting, and they shouldn't be. Now, why did I get upset earlier this morning when I hear Bob Ferguson, the current governor of Washington State, his response to a letter from Pam Bondi requesting Washington government to please comply with federal law. This is the first lie that he says. And I want you to listen on how he said it. And we say this all the time as Republicans, as conservatives, as patriots, okay? Forget about partisans sometimes. Right now, we're just patriots having a conversation. Yes, Scott, Turd Ferguson. Check this out. This guy thinks we're stupid. I'm going to tell you something before I tell you what he said. Okay. Now, you want to find out if I was involved with something. I know exactly what you're talking about. And I am going to say that, yes, I was involved. But the way that I'm going to tell you is I was doing something at a different time, which makes no sense. I'm really just misdirecting what you asked me. I don't answer directly. So Bob Ferguson says that Pam Bondi says that he needs to comply with federal law. And then he says, we are a sanctuary state and we take care or protect migrants. Okay, that could be true, but here's where the lie is. By saying that response that way, he doesn't say that he lets criminals go free. He doesn't say that they're protecting illegal immigrants. He doesn't say that illegal immigrants are actually voting here in Washington. So you see, by him hiding the truth, he is lying. By him not sharing the information from the sheriff's office when an illegal immigrant commits a crime, he is obstructing federal law. Now they say, how is that obstructing federal law? We're just not lifting a finger to help. Well, when somebody commits a crime and they get arrested, the government needs to know what that person did. We, the people, want to be safe. And before you guys start hating and saying that I'm just defending Trump, let's get to the basics first, okay? Number one, tariffs. Everybody denied it. I said it from the get-go. It's a good thing. Look how many peace deals we have made. Look how many countries have come. What the hell? I lost my train of thought in the name. It's not the United Nations. NATO. Well, the United Nations too. But NATO is what I was trying to remember. They were talking so bad about Trump. Oh, he's making a mistake and this and that. And then what happens? Now they think NATO should be led by the United States because of Donald Trump. Okay, so let's just get some facts out there. Mark, which I believe is the president, or what is it, a secretary or something like that for NATO, praises Donald Trump. Okay, let's forget about some of the incidents that he's not perfect with. I'm not defending him. He made some deals with the Arabs. He made some deals. He helped with the Abraham Accords, which helps a lot of the Semitic people in the Middle East, Arabs, Jews, etc. He's been sending help to Palestinians. Hamas keeps, hurting their people, stealing the food, etc. Well, he's still trying to help with Israel. Okay. He has made deals with other countries, and not just make deals, but he has actually stopped wars from happening. So let's speak some facts. A lot of people tell me here, when they're from the other side, they keep saying that Trump has made no deals. They keep saying Trump is like, right now, he says something about Epstein files. The guy that knows everything about Epstein said that Trump has nothing to do with it. And when he was asked about Bill Clinton, he kind of brushed off that question. But the fact is that President Bill Clinton visited that island 28 times. And what looks fishy to me, it's not that, even though that's pretty obvious, right? That he's doing something. He likes what he sees. Thank you, Chris. God bless you, brother, for the compliment. I appreciate it. But the problem is, he went there without his security detail. Why would he do that? You see, I might just be a theorist, right? Maybe I'm just making up some shit right there. But the fact is that happened. And that's what I'm with. Brown Trader. Ese acento te está matando, maggot. Edwin España. I'm assuming that you didn't know how to make the ñ, but it's okay. Alt 145 next time, okay? So that way you can make the real name the way it's supposed to be. Chow Cow says, MAGA, make America great again. It's straight from Virginia Flaggers, make America great again. Love it. Love my Patriots. Don't panic, 42. He's in there. Panic 42 says Donald Trump is on the Epstein files. We'll see. We'll see. The truth shall set you free, says the Lord. We won treaties, not deals. A deal is an agreement. An agreement is a deal. An agreement is also a treaty between two countries. It can happen, guys. It can happen. All right. It's ending soon. Deport your kids. Why? They're American. They're born here. Every single one of my kids was born in this country. You know what else I found out? When I became a naturalized American citizen, every single child that I would have made in this world would automatically become an American citizen because of me. Pending a paternity test, of course. So whether they were born here or not, it doesn't matter. They will be American. And believe me, if they're my kids, they will be patriots to this country. My kids don't follow a lot of corruption that these governments are trying to inflict on our children, and they know better. I tell them, if they tell you something like this, I want you to tell me. If they doing something like this in your school, I want you to tell me. And they have told me things that they don't like. And so I support my kids. I teach them to be great patriots of this country. Edgar, what the hell is chomo? I don't know what chomo is for America. Maybe, I'm sure it's some type of insult, but that's okay, brother. Freedom of speech, right? You act like Republican government isn't corrupt. You got me wrong. You got me wrong. I believe that there is some corrupt Republicans out there. See, this is what I tell you guys. When you guys come into my channel, please, just know I love you all. I really do. It is what God has commanded me to do, to love my neighbor. That what I always say is this: don't think about it as a Republican thing. Like you right now, you can be having a hat that says Biden Harris. It's okay. You know, maybe I'll make fun of you, just like you make fun of my hat. It's okay. Freedom of speech, baby. It's all about having fun. But at the same time, we got to speak some facts. We got to speak some truth, okay? It's what's wonderful about having lives. And this is why I want to do lives every day, because we can have this conversation back and forth. Already Dead says this dude is funny. Are you saying I'm funny because I'm funny, or because it's being a sarcastic funny? Save the children, says Bob Kroll. Which, by the way, for me, you perv. Oh, man. Some people are going to get banned from this chat today, it looks like. Karen says, I wonder how you're going to feel when you're shipped back to Mexico. Who's Mexican in here? I'm sure there's a few Mexicans in here, but not this guy. If you want to insult me the right way, the country that you want to send me to would be this one. That's the country you want to send me to, okay? Honduras. Which, by the way, guys, is a third world country. It's a beautiful country. You got to work your butt off if you want to make it. To be honest, man, I'm a little embarrassed of myself that I don't live in Honduras right now, proving you all that in Honduras you can make a good living. Lucky for me, there's a lot of family and friends that I know in Honduras and that I have in Honduras that have businesses where maybe they shouldn't succeed, but because they have good work ethics, they have discipline, they have respect, and they're just hard workers all around. Those are the kind of people that we want over here in the States, to be honest. But they're happy to live in Honduras. I have told my growing up brothers, and saludes a la familia Orellana. I want to say a shout out to the Orellana family, to the Lopez family, to the Tejadas in Honduras. If you ever get to see this video, God bless you. I love you. I wish you the best. You guys are wonderful people to me. And if you happen to have those last names, include yourself in it. God bless every single one of you guys. You realize he's coming after you, says Gorgon. The guys. Trina says, Epstein. Where? Where's Epstein? Carlos Garcia, make America great, he says. Man, I'm going to tell you something, guys. This country is lucky to have Mexicans that love this country. Because I think that, guys, I don't brown nose, I don't kiss ass. I tell you as I see it. Mexicans, at least the ones that I've known, I have said some nice things about Colima, Manzanillo, and now I hear it's like one of the most violent cities in Mexico. I can't believe it, because the people there were so beautiful, so wonderful, so attentive. Man, just so festive, so free, so loving. I kid you not. I mean it. And so when I tell you that this country is lucky to have Mexicans that love the United States, it's because they're very loyal, they're very patriotic, and they work their ass off to provide for the families and to protect this land. Do you know who this, even though they weren't born here, right? Even though they're nationalized, back when the Mexican-American War ended, right? You already know the history. We signed a treaty, we signed a deal, and you know what? We took the debt that the Mexicans had from California, Arizona, Texas, New Mexico, some parts of Utah, etc. We didn't kick the Mexicans out. You know that, right? The people there were actually made American citizens. This is why we have a lot of Spanish names in California and in those countries. I mean, in those states, those countries. It is kind of a country compared to Honduras. Honduras is very small, okay? But there was also a group of Mexicans that didn't pay the debt, that didn't get to clear that debt, and they were deported. And now you probably heard a story that the Americans stole the land in San Francisco. Look it up. It's there. Legend of El Zorro. Says some initials. Gamer guy says, let's deport Dennis. Hey, be nice to that guy, man. I like that guy. No eres tan difícil para encontrar. Ben is over here threatening to come and find me. Oh, bro, that's horrible. Taryn Yassi says, ice. Happy Apple Day. Apple Pie Day. Today's my brother-in-law's birthday. Shout out. Happy birthday, little bro. Love you. Hey, this is for you guys that love Trump. God bless you, Americans, you patriots, you beautiful, talented people. If it wasn't for you, a lot of black people would not be free today. Speaking of black free slaves, I find it so interesting that in this country, people like to complain about the white folks. And you know what? Go learn some history, and you find out nobody on this earth loves black people more than white people do. It's a fact. Now, is there groups of people that are prejudiced or maybe that don't like certain groups? Of course. I mean, I have a group of my own people in here hating me, calling ICE on me, even though I'm a citizen. I don't know why they're calling ICE, but they're hating me. They're able to insult me, and I'm okay. That's fine. As long as they don't get racist with other people, I'm fine. So with that being said, you know, there is a lot of history that people don't understand about this country. And racism only exists because people, of course, keep talking about it. But it really doesn't. You know, I don't believe in white supremacy. I had a conversation with a coworker. Now, I tried to explain to him that a professor from Africa actually acknowledged that the word white supremacist was actually invented by the black African man. And so you have another story that name is given, that the white men gave themselves that name, but it's not true. And it all has to do with being supreme or superior with technology, with knowledge. You know, people that are in very humble areas, that they don't know that there's machines that can pump water off the ground, that there's machines that can pump petroleum out of the ground. They don't know these things. So it's not that they're calling the white men that. Because if a Mexican would have gone over to Africa in those days and they knew how to do all these things, they would have called it Mexicans, brown supremacist. However you want to look at it. But as long as I can keep shining these little dimples over here, I'm okay, because that tells me that I am doing my job. When people start insulting me and not giving me facts, I feel like I'm doing my job, telling the truth. So with that being said, I kind of jump in here to some conversations, but I really want to say thank you guys for your love, for your support. I love all my patriotic Americans. No division between Democrats and Republicans. We all have different ideas. We all have different opinions. But at the end of the day, that's what matters. That represents you. That represents all the migrants that came here legally and became citizens. That represents all of you. And hopefully many future migrants that do everything the right way. Now, I will say this to people that don't understand, because I keep getting hate of, Republicans or just Americans in general. We hate migrants. No, how can I hate migrants? I'm a migrant myself. We love migrants. But like my mom, she didn't want me to come here illegally. She waited until she was able to bring me here legally so that I can come here and visit. And then we applied for the green card. We waited a couple of years. We got it. And then, I went as a green card holder for a couple of decades and a half. But eventually I thought, you know what? Every time that I don't vote for a person to be president or whatever, I'm not doing my part. The Bucks, thanks for that, man. I appreciate it. You should go back. You can't speak English. Hey, I will tell you some truth. The Bucks elder. Man, that's a catchy username, actually. You don't speak English. You know who speaks English? Englishman. Here in America, none of us actually speak English. We speak some weird English. If I go to Texas, they talk weird. If I go to Louisiana, I can't understand what they're saying. If I go to another state, the same thing. Man, everybody has a different accent. And when somebody makes fun of my Spanish accent, all I gotta say is I blame all of y'all. Because you guys have all these crazy accents, and then you expect Hispanics to come and learn English, and then we learn all the horrible English that you guys speak. With that being said, Jesus loves you, says Charles Oliverio. And I believe on that as well, my friend. God bless you, man. The Black Bull says, but your accent is not American. I don't know what that means. What do you mean it's not American? If I talk to anybody from a different state, their accents are all different. And how are they American? Have you heard Americans speaking American? They also have an accent when they speak English. So maybe you have like a Scottish accent, an Irish accent. Sonny says, La migra viene. That means the ice is coming. You know, I hear a lot of you guys on videos running at Home Depot yelling La migra, and then like people don't understand what the hell you're saying, but let's see what. But you just give yourself away. Like if somebody says La migra, just stay still, pretend like you're legal, and they won't take you away. This is a white Christian European country. No, this is the United States of America. But you are right. It is Christian. It was founded under Christian values, as far as I can tell from history. A lot of people don't respect that. But if it is a Christian European country, then you will have to talk to me with the Bible. And hey, you know, I can give you some insights. A lot of people that come into my chat, they already know how I feel about the Bible, and they know what I used to be before. So, you know, sometimes people talk about religious things. We can do that as well. But in this country, I think the biggest priority that we need to have is not the Epstein files. The biggest priority that we need is to come together, put our differences aside, and just fight for this country, not each other. I know that this is why I love Americans. Americans are so, what's the word? Loving, caring. They're very humanitarian, and they care about people. And so, of course, when they see illegal immigrants being sent back home or whatever, they get handcuffed. They automatically think the worst things. Roger says, nopales. I know. Put your Trump aside. I do. And right now I am putting Trump aside. Remember, Trump does not make the immigration laws. He's not a lawmaker. But he is enforcing it because we asked him we told him that's what we wanted. And we are happy that he's doing it. We don't like to see it, but it has to be done. You know, nobody likes to see their co-workers being fired. But if they're doing something they're not supposed to and they get fired, it is what it is. Let's see, Bin Laden. Who said Bin Laden? I voted for Donald Trump, says Robert Boyd. Good choice, man. Very wise. Now, since I got a bunch of you guys in here, I want you to tell me what Trump did wrong today or yesterday. Let me hear it. Every other comment, I'm going to ignore. Come on, tell me what Trump did wrong today or yesterday, so that I can stop being biased with my opinion. Sounds like you came here as a refugee. No, I came here as a minor, and my mother was a green card holder. My mother got to be a green card holder because my sister asked for her. Now, before she was able to ask, okay, my sister married her husband, which was an American. They were together for years. And then they had to prove, before they were able to ask for my mother to come and visit, they had to prove that they were going to be able to sustain her, support her for as long as she comes over here. So they have to prove that they were able to take care of her. Why do we do that? Because we don't want people to come over here and be dependent on the government. That is the number one advice my mother gave me when she brought me to this country and told me to study hard, go to school, and work hard to provide for whatever family I was going to have in the future, and to, most importantly, become a good patriot to this nation if I ever became a citizen. That's my mom's advice. Now, let's see what we got here. Dumb supporter. I don't know who's supporting what. Trump needs to not let in so many Indians. Oh my God. See, it's not just Mexicans, it's Indians. The box holder says you don't belong here, Roach. La cucaracha, la cucaracha. La da 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 da. Hey, box holder, thank you, man. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you. Hey, what you say is not wrong, but it's not right. You know what I mean? It's all good, baby. I appreciate it. Let's see. La cucaracha. I want to say that I am very happy that I see a lot of Hispanics, legal Hispanics, that love this country. If they haven't received papers, I really wish that they can. And as I told you guys before, if you know somebody is illegal, keep your mouth shut. And I know this probably goes against what Trump wants, but keep your mouth shut. But if they come for them, if ICE comes for them, it's for a reason. Now, you might think that your gardener is a very innocent person and they don't do anything wrong, but you don't know what their warrant for the arrest is for them. A lot of them that get arrested, they have done some nasty stuff, guys. Nasty stuff. And maybe some of them, they're just, man, well, even if you're drunk, right? If you're a drunkard and you're doing bad things, I mean, people get killed when you're driving drunk. You know, if you're selling drugs out on the street, especially now they're being laced with fentanyl, you can kill people. And you know what? If you commit any type of crime while being illegal, well, you just gave yourself up and you will be deported. It's not me saying it. You guys know the law. You guys know how it works. So, Bob Ferguson here in Washington State. This guy, man, such a liar. Man, I'm so upset with this guy. This guy has ran out of money with his whole cabinet. They abused the budget. Unfortunately, it wasn't on Americans. It was on illegal immigrants. But we're not going to hate people that need help. It's okay. But he used all the money. Now we're in a negative, about $20 billion in the hole. And it's going to get worse. Because now they're saying that there's not enough money for this, there's not enough money for that. And guess what else? Whenever they decide to take Donald J. Trump, our POTUS, to court, they are using our tax-paying dollars to do it. You're forking up the bill. This is what they think they're tough. Address your 2008 child corn charge. Child corn charge. Bucks Elder, man, that's cold, bro. I don't know how to address that one. I don't know how to address it. Let's see. 2008 charge Dennis Epstein file. What happened in 2008? That was Barack Obama's year, wasn't it? That's the year that Barack Obama took office? What was it? Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure what to do with that, guys. There's some stuff. I don't know everything, guys. I don't know everything. Ben says, laugh it off. If I'm going to laugh if I don't know something, guys. So unless you tell me, I won't know. John Lopez says, can't address stupid. Buck Elder finally figured out that I'm in San Francisco. Even though I tell everybody I am in Everett. Let's deport Dennis. Why do you hate yourself? Asked KG. Buck Elder, man, you better not be somebody that I know. It's starting to get a little freaky over here, man. Creepy. Anyways, Bob Ferguson decides that he's going to tax the people a lot more than what he has already done. And you will, what was it, the governor or the mayor of, was it Chicago or something like that? They're broke. And somebody came and mentioned something in here that there was, what was it, Nebraska was broke or something like that? Number one, my record is clean, very clean. Even my driving record. Nothing on that except, well, there's a couple of speeding tickets there from, for the last, how long have I been driving? The last 35 years that I've been driving, okay? 35 years driving, I got 2 speeding tickets. Let's see. Owen says, Dennis, going live and having an audience gives you a bigger chance of being targeted by ICE. You should quit social media. Nah, man, it's all good. I got nothing to hide. And see, this, you know what? I'm glad that you said that. Buck Selder, let me tell you something. Let me tell you who's guilty of stuff. Remember when Doge was assigned to audit our government? You know who was really pissed off? The government that was getting audited. Because they have so much dirt. These guys are probably even worse than the cartel. That's how I feel about it. They were so afraid of Doge looking into the files that they have been hiding from you and from me, but they came out in the open. So that's just one part of it. The Russia collusion, fake. Hillary Clinton deleted thousands of emails that will probably compromise her. And she says it was personal emails, not anything of security or national security. How do we know? This is why you don't delete them. This is why you have a special phone that you're supposed to use just for government use, not for your personal Facebook account. These Democrats like to go and yell at the opposition and say how corrupted they are, but everything that they have been blaming Donald Trump, whether you like him or not, they have been doing themselves. And everything is coming out in the open. I hope you know who I am. I mean, my channel is called Dennis Herrera. I mean, there's nothing for me to hide. And I am in Washington State. I'm a proud Honduran American. Believe that. And I do fight for the freedom of the people. And I think I understand the laws a little bit better than most lawyers that are trained to lie for money. I'm not trained to lie for money. Dennis Herrera is my real name. That is my name. Get off your propaganda channels, cultist. Why are leftists so mean? You guys are so mean. David has to go to the bathroom apparently. Locarisa says, poor Dennis is worse than Black MAGA. What's Black MAGA? Is it like black people that support Donald Trump? Take that Peter merch off, says Hexa. Love it. Love it. Free ice. Here, guys. You guys love Trump so much. Take another look, baby. Some good coffee right there. I shouldn't even be drinking coffee because it's getting late. What has happened in Washington, D.C.? Let's switch gears from Washington State because Bob Ferguson is doing the same exact thing that every other blue state governor and mayor are doing. Let's jump to Washington, D.C. and see what has happened over there. That's good for you, Titan. I don't like those guys either. David, what are your thoughts on the Epstein files? Yes, David, tell us. What is your thoughts? Okay, Espresso Jack actually knows me. That is correct. I love cheese pizza. Get out of my country, says my brother here. I wonder what's making you so happy today to tell somebody get out of my country. Now, before you continue saying that, what have you done for your country lately? What have you given to this country to be yours? Long live Trump. Trump is not the king. He's not a king, but he should be respected as our president. Gamer Guy says he will vote for Donald Trump. But unfortunately, he's not going to do a third term if that's what you guys are thinking. He's done. He's got 3 more years in office, and that's it. Let's see. Remy loves Trump. Good, good. Your heart is in the right place. Epstein, what's the Epstein question that I missed here? I already talked about Epstein. Did you guys come in a little bit late there? Came late for Epstein files? Let's remember that if there was something to implicate Donald Trump in the Epstein files, the Democrats wouldn't have not lost 1 second to use that opportunity to bury him. But they have nothing. They got nothing on him. In Washington, D.C., there has been approximately 465 arrests. This is how safe Washington, D.C. is. They arrested 51 people in one night. In other news, ICE crackdown and police working together with the federal government have arrested 40 MS-13 gangbangers. I will say if I was a MS-13 gangbanger, I will give up that corruption and I will try to behave and maybe even self-deport to another country where they just are not going after people that have tats like I did. I'm just saying if I was, but I'm not. Okay? Let's see, defenseless homeless people. Man, homeless people, they're really, it's really hard to fix, but the more, MS-13 is not from Honduras, my friend. Mara Salvatrucha. There's no Salvatruchas in Honduras, only Catrachos. Don't confuse it just because we're Central Americans. Not the same. It's like me confusing you guys with Americans, but you're not. Now, speaking of America, I am glad that they're cleaning up the streets of our beautiful capital of Washington, D.C. I've seen the buildings, a lot of graffiti, a lot of old stuff in there. I think they got to fix up the town completely. But same thing happens over here in Washington State. Seattle can be such a beautiful city, but this blue corrupted people, they're just destroying every single town that they touch. And the only thing that allows them to do it is there's a lot of hardworking people and there's a lot of successful people that they can keep taxing and taxing. I hear stories of people that they're so afraid because the food prices are so high, and well, they don't see any hope coming from the Democratic Party. They're lost. They are lost. Their smartest thing that they can have is they want to get rid of billionaires, and then they wonder how are they going to get money from taxes if there's no billionaires in their state. Ridiculous. Let's see, Armageddon. Let's see what the hell you're talking about here. Let's see. I saw that question here. The question: do you believe in the Constitution or not? Absolutely, 100%. What you don't understand is that the Constitution is for American citizens, not just any hobo that goes through this land. There's that. We won the Epstein files. Trump is on the list. It has been proven that he's not on the list. He was friends with Epstein, with Jeffrey, for many years. They were actually best friends. They had a dispute over some real estate, but the biggest thing that Trump didn't like was that he was trying to take employees from the Mar-a-Lago, and not just taking employees from him, but also sexual harassing the kids of such said workers. And so he broke it off with Jeffrey and said, you know what, so long, sucker. I'm going to buy this property that you want just to make you pissed off. And then he cut it off. That's it, done. All right? But Bill Clinton, on the other hand, 28 visits without his security. Oh, man. Yeah. Keep blaming Donald Trump. You guys must be some really righteous people. You guys probably you guys don't make any mistakes. You guys are so clean. I bet you that all these people in here that are calling Donald Trump a pedophile, you guys probably fantasize with that stuff. I don't think that's healthy. It's not a good thing. If you really want to protect children, you're going to let Donald Trump clean up this country. Rapists are rampant among every city in this country. Illegal criminal rapists, violent criminals are in the open because of sanctuary cities. Guy that's been arrested 10 times, drove drunk, and killed a patrol officer on the freeway. Over 100 miles an hour. Illegal immigrant. If they don't respect our law, they will never be afraid of our law. And if they're not afraid of our law, you're screwed by defending them. Maybe your life might be in danger because of that. Heath says, finally, a good channel with common sense. Thank you, Heath. I appreciate the support. And it's really not that I am, like a good host or anything, man. We just try to use common sense. Rape is a mistake, but they need to be punished for it. And Trump hasn't done that, by the way. He's been vindicated of everything, not indicted. So if I knew that, I wouldn't be talking like this. I don't think you guys don't know me. That's why you say that, but I wouldn't be talking like that. You know what I find interesting is you guys already know, what's his name? Stephen A. Smith. He was on the show with Chris Cuomo, which, by the way, I like the new Cuomo. He's not such a liar. He's become 50% less of a liar. Now he just shifts the blame to the side so that he looks innocent. That ain't right. I apologize about that. But look, he was over there. This dude should have an orange ring around his mouth. Armageddon. Bro, you should put an orange ring on your head. He says this to Chris Cuomo. He says, Obama made a promise to Ukraine and Russia invaded. We made a promise. And then Biden also made a promise. And Russia still invaded Ukraine and they did nothing. And now Donald Trump is now fulfilling that promise. And promises that corrupted politicians have done in the past will not be kept. Unless there really is a good reason to keep that promise. All the promises that Donald Trump has given us, the American people that put him in office, he has fulfilled and has shown us that he's working hard to make America great again. When was America great again? Great ever, I hear from a lot of people. Well, let's remember how we used to have a lot of car manufacturers. We used to make a lot of more stuff of American-made products here in the United States of America. That's when America was great. When we were actually free in this land. When racism was dying in the 90s. Let's not forget the last couple of decades, Democrats have been fighting hard to make the white people look guilty, even though they have nothing to be guilty about. Let's not forget that it was Obama and Michelle Obama that kept talking about racism and kept talking bad about white people, talking about the hypocrisy on people. They are president and first lady of the United States of America and still playing the victim. Systemic racism, the system is rigged, bitch, you are in office. You know what? Northern states, Republicans, we knew that having free men was more important than having slaves picking cotton to make a few bucks. You see, the northern states always have had industries. They had slaves, but they treat their slaves good. And they fought. And let's not forget, when we won both world wars, that's right. And that is, oh my God, that is actually very good. Now, Heath, bad shit happened. We know. And really, in wars, nobody really wins, right? Because there's always casualties. But that's 100%. And not only then, but today, we are great again, having the most powerful military force on earth. Now, these people, these Democrats, let's not forget that the Democratic Party is the founders of the KKK. You guys know what that is, right? Okay, because I don't want to mention it too much. But let's not forget that if there was like, what, a couple 100,000 slaves in the whole United States back then? And those slaves actually wanted to come to this country as slaves. You know why? Because in Africa, they were being mutilated as slaves. Their kids were born into slavery. Here in the United States, a black man was one of the richest men on the United States. Why? Because he owned slaves. Let's not forget that it was blacks that sold blacks into slavery. Let's not forget that the African empire was only built over the back of the weaker villagers that they enslaved. Let's not forget that it was the white man, Thomas Jefferson, that created the Navy fleet for the United States of America, that went over there and defeated those African pirates, freed the slave American citizens. Look at this history. He went and freed American slaves from Africa and then brought some African slaves with them. And what did they get? They didn't get mutilated anymore. Did they get a fair wages? Probably not to our standards. But they do what? In Africa, if you're from a small village, what is it that you want? Number one, you want a roof over your head. Number two, you want to be able to eat. And those slaves knew that when they came to the United States, because they saw how Thomas Jefferson and the Navy went over there and beat those pirates and freed them from the mutilating problem, they were brought here with the promise that they could buy their freedom. A lot of them did buy their freedom. Here in America, a lot of the black people that claim the victimhood of racism and that their ancestors were slaves, they're not even from here. They're from Cuba. They're from Grenada. They're from other Caribbean countries. They're from Jamaica. What the hell has Jamaica got to do with the United States of America? Even if there were slaves over there, that has nothing to do with the United States of America. And yet they want reparations from American. When it's what? American white people that died to free the black slaves. Let's not forget about that. Those were Republicans. Democrats fought against it. They wanted to keep slaves. And you know what they proved today, after how many years? That they are still the same racist party. They want illegal immigrants in here because they get seats in the government that keeps them in power. And what happens when they stay in power? They make more money and they tax the people and they get millions and billions of dollars from the American taxpayers. And how do they get rid of this money? They use NGOs. And how do they use NGOs? Because nobody can trace this money. So when you come and talk to me about American history, you better bring it. And if you're going to bring the Bible, the same way. Learn your freaking history before you start hating the white Americans of this country, because nobody has done more for this world than the white people that we have in America. Heath Wood says the first president was black. No official logbook then. I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about. And the other thing is this, that people complain about white people saying that they're evil and they want to keep the black men down. I agree. You know how evil white people are? White people are so evil that they want to help black people so bad. They give them welfare. And that's a vote. Only white people can free slaves. Only white people can put a black man in the presidential office. Only white people. 60 to 70% of the population in the United States of America is white folks. If they wanted to, they will wipe your ass off this country. They will get rid of all Hispanics if they were really racist, as people say. But they're not. Playing the victimhood card. You know why people that are on welfare don't care about voting for Democrats? They vote blindly because Democrats keep them enslaved. They don't even know, but they keep them enslaved. What do? They give you food stamps. They give you free health care. By the way, we actually should have a little bit of better health care. They give you free housing. They tell you, hey, don't go to work. Don't worry. No, 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 no. You don't have to. Listen, the less money you make and the more children you make, the more money we're going to give you for free. And you know what happens with that? People get lazy. And what do? They chug on their 40s. They smoke the blunts. They smoke the weed. They do drugs. How do they want to make some free cash? They want to go fast money making by selling drugs. They kill their own people. And the only excuse that radical blacks have is, well, in that neighborhood, everybody's black. So, of course, the quantity of black crime on black crime is high because there's no white people. Their excuse for crime and criminal activities is there's more black people in there than white people. And wouldn't you think that if black people were so great, those neighborhoods would actually be doing a lot better? Like Chicago. Chicago has got a lot of black people. And what do we have in Chicago? I don't know. I'm not from Chicago, but I can take a guess. I can see what's going on in the news. People tell me, why do you watch CNN? I know, fake news, right? But I want to hear it. This is what I do. I watch they changed their name. MS something. Used to be MS-13. But now is MS something else because they protect criminal, illegal immigrants. More than Americans, by the way. But I watch MSNBC. Not that much anymore. But I watch CNN. I can see some anchors are trying to be impartial at some point. But what they don't know is that people like me, people like Heath, and other patriots like you, we actually listen when the president is talking. We actually listen when other world leaders are talking. We actually watch what is being done in live television. And then we listen to the news from CNN. And then you go and say, that's not what he said. And then you go to Fox and they report what you heard, and maybe they don't. But the point is, you got to be involved. If you're going to be against politics, if you don't want to do anything for this country, get the hell out the way of those that want to make this country great again. Salud. Here, a reminder of you that love him so much. There you go. I don't mean to be preaching at nobody here. I'm just sharing my opinion and my common sense. And a lot of you guys got it. Some of these guys still don't understand. Politically Incorrect Coffee says, not only was Jesus Christ a revolutionary, I lost the tie. I don't know where he went. So many people were just spamming the chat. I apologize for not reading that comment, brother. Or sister, whatever that is. He was also Palestinian, even though the Bible is very, very precise that he was a descendant of David, a Jew from Israel, not from Palestine. Palestinians actually don't have a state. You guys don't have a country. Sorry about it. Man, all right, I got to come down a little bit. But man, it really turns me out. It really makes me mad that people play the victimhood card and they're so ungrateful. You guys remember Joyce from, what was her network? She got fired. Now she's got the first Donald Trump, FDT. She says, first Donald Trump. She keeps claiming that the white man in this country is the problem. I don't understand. Why are you playing the racist card? There's this lady. What's her name? Angela. What's her name? She says she's a star comedian. Blah blah blah. She was on a black on black crime in Jubilee, and by now you guys probably seen other content creators probably review the video, right, or the interview. Angela something. Her name escapes me, but I don't know if she's that white girl. Well, she's mixed, I guess, but she's very light skinned. She reminds me of that girl from Bill Cosby show. I don't know what her name is, but the point is this: they were telling her she was a liberal or a socialist or a Democrat, and she was like, "No, I am not. I'm not a socialist or a liberal. I'm a radical black woman. So when you think of me, think about your mama." And you address me with respect. And I'm like, it's what? No, it's got freedom of speech. Don't sit there and try to debate somebody if you can't talk about it, right? So anyways, so she says she's fighting for reparations, and I don't remember what the and reproportioning. Maybe reproportioning I can kind of get behind a little bit, but reparations for what? She's like, I'm a black woman. You don't know the obstacles that come my way. You don't know what happens to my people. We can be from the same neighborhood, but I'm going to have more obstacles in my way to overcome this and that, but blah, 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 blah. All these excuses. And then there comes this conservative black girl. And she comes in there and says, my father did that my grandma did this, my cousin did this, blah, blah, blah. She comes in there and she starts spitting facts. And she says, what black people need is resilience. We need to stop playing the victimhood card and get ourselves out of our situation and into the world. We have millionaires that are black. We have millionaires that are Hispanic. We have a lot of people from all different kind of ethnicities that are millionaires and billionaires today and age. So these people playing the victim card, the racist card, and things that don't exist, I just don't get it. But here's the point. She goes and says, all these things about my people, oh, the slavery in the United States of America, and the white people are the devil, and blah, blah, blah. And then she slips and says, like me, I'm a migrant. My mother is from Grenada. Wait, you just said that your family, your ancestors were slaves. You're a migrant from Grenada. Nothing to do with the white people in the United States of America. And let me point out, 2% of the white people in the United States of America own slaves. Let me open your eyes to something else about slavery. A black free woman bought her husband as a slave and made him her husband. She was free, and even though he married her, he was still a slave. You know what the story happens with this guy? They have a child. In America, if you were born here, you were born free. Well, this guy had a son, and the son was being disciplined by him. But remember, the mother is a free black woman, and the father is still a slave. The son didn't like the father disciplining him, and they put his ass in jail. They put the father in jail just because he was still a slave. Tell me that was white people's fault. Heath Wood says, I will never pay reparations, and you shouldn't. Here in Washington State, they're forcing people that want to buy houses. They fill out a form, and they got to pay $100 for the form, and that goes towards reparations to black people. I promise you that I am part Cherokee Indian. Oh, no wonder I like you, brother. How about if we claim we want reparations? That's right, man. Like, who gets reparations? How about we do this? Let's do something better. Let's do something better. The white man that died to free the slaves, what reparations they get? Not everybody was a slave owner. And Heath, thank you for your support. I appreciate that, brother. God bless you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. The white man has done more for this country than anybody else. See, people confuse settlers with migrants. Migrants don't build this country. The settlers do. They build. Migrants, they come to trade, they come to find work, they come to make some money, but they are not the settlers. Let's keep that clear. When you say that black men built this country, you're half right. When you say that migrants built this country, probably almost 100% right. But see, illegal immigration does not count until this country was founded. Then we made rules because a lot of people don't respect other people's properties. I'm trying to go very basic with you. Very basic. Before settlers, The land was savagery. We were all just roaming, and if you went to the wrong place, you got an arrow through your head. If you went through somewhere down in South Texas, you probably got an Apache that scolded your forehead off, right? If you're in the wrong property, you're in the wrong land, wrong mountain, you took the wrong left, you got an arrow through your face, through your chest, etc. So what happens? Settlers come over here. There's a fight. For what? For territory. What do they want? We want a farm. As a matter of fact, a lot of people don't know this, but when the Spaniards came here, the Europeans came over here, they brought horses, they brought cattle, they brought bananas, they brought a bunch of seeds that we have that they are very fruitful in tropical weathers. It comes all the way from there. How do we not know that in history? But once this country was founded, there was borders. And California was still part of Mexico. And Arizona and New Mexico and parts of Utah. And I forget what other parts. But that was Mexican border. What happened? The people got in debt. The government abused their people. The first ones to reach out was Texas. They say, hey, we got farms over here. This Mexican corrupt government is harassing us, is destroying blah, blah, blah. They reached out to the United States and say, hey, we want to be part of the United States of America. Now, there's other deals that happened during that time, but I'm giving you the very bare bones, very basic. And what did America said? Okay, you know what? You guys have a lot to bring to the table. We can benefit from your land and from you guys. We will respect you and we will protect you. If Mexico comes after you, we got him. We got him. And then California, all the debt that was taken away by Americans that was buying it. The Americans said, we will pay for that debt, but we want the land. Mexico said, okay. And the border moved farther south. Nonetheless, it's still a border. An American has easy access to go to Mexico because they will not be a burden to that country. They're going down there to spend dollars. And dollars is gold for the Mexican people, small businesses, tourist area. The economy in every single country, for the most part, depends on tourism. Now, if we get people from Mexico to come here, of course, if they have money and they're well preserved, etc., they come over here. They don't come and beg to the United States. They come and spend dollars from Mexico. Same from Honduras. If you go to Honduras, it's a third world country. If you go to the Bay Islands in Roatan, which is the place of, oh my God, my favorite place on earth. If you go there, you will notice the area where the tourists are, they keep it nice and clean. It's the best place to be. But if you go to where the locals are, it's dirty. Nobody wants to go there. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's just use common sense. But I will say this. Before you come trashing white people, learn the history. If you haven't watched this movie, it's very sad. An old movie with Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington. It is called Glory. Watch this movie. But don't watch this movie until you learn history. Learn Civil War. Learn the history of how the first Navy fleet was made, what Thomas Jefferson did for this country. Learn those things first. Learn about slavery from Africa. Matt Kipling, man, thank you, brother. That's a lot of love, man. I appreciate that, man. That touches my heart. But what I'm saying to you is very, very my honest opinion. This is what I've learned from history. And you got to see it without hate. You see, there will be a moment while you're learning history that is going to break your heart. It's going to hurt your feelings. And you're going to hear, the way that the Hollywood represents these stories. They say, oh my God, white people were so bad. They were horrible. But they don't show the bad side of the black people that rebel. The slaves that will run away. They had a responsibility. They were able to save money to free themselves. Some of them were actually the smart, hardworking black Americans that decided, I'm going to buy my freedom. And they suffered. I'm not going to say they didn't, because in the South, they were evil mofos. In the North, the slaves didn't get treated that way. And this is why the Southern slaves used to call the Northern black men slaves Uncle Tom. Why? Because they got a suit. They were over there butlers. They were over there waiters serving the white man. You know what? They were earning their money. You guys think that everybody likes the job that they do? We don't go to work because we just love this job. It's so amazing. We don't go do that because we love it. Yeah, sometimes we do, right? It is an incentive to love what you do. But the most important thing is that you have to provide for your family. If you want to move ahead, you got to work hard. You got to save money. I will just say, stop blaming white people for your laziness. The people that keep voting, this is the only reason why they have a lot of Black and Hispanics support in Democrat-run cities and states, because the Democrats keep promising them free food, free medical, free housing. And what they are doing is just using them as slaves as they did back in the days. Their tactics doesn't change. And as long as they belong to them, they will never care about who they are as people. They don't care that somebody goes to jail. They let them out. Even though that person that went to jail was hurting the Spanish community, they still let them out. They don't care what happens to the Hispanic community. They don't care what happens to the Black community. And so you have people that keep voting for Democrats. Groceries, gas, all the cost of living is going higher and higher and higher, and they keep voting for the same Democrats. You know why? Because they don't know how much a gallon of milk costs today. They don't know how much the eggs cost today. They don't even know how much the gas costs today because they get free money. They go to the grocery store with $3,500 worth of food stamps. They go in there, they just grab stuff. They don't even know how much it costs. They just grab it, grab it, grab it. After the big, beautiful bill was passed, millions of people got kicked off of benefits. And they started crying, rah, 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 how Donald Trump, the orange man, bad. How dare these Americans? We knew that the white man was evil. We knew that white man is racist, blah, blah, blah. And what happens? They get off the welfare. And now they got to figure out, I got to get a job. No more freebies. I got to get a job. And what do? They go to the grocery stores. Oh my God, everything is so expensive. How am I supposed to afford this? It's so expensive. Oh my God, the gas, why is it being taxed so much? Why is the rent so high? Well, now that they're on their own, now that they have to be responsible, now that they have to provide for their family and not depending on the free stuff from the government, now they see that the voting that they've been doing for decades is ruining their communities. And a lot of people don't want to get off welfare because they're lazy. With that being said, there is a lot of people that need it. We're not jerks. But that system needs to be for the people that need it. Heath Woods, if I hire someone to clean my house, am I racist? No, you're an employer that is allowing somebody to earn their daily bread. Besides the word of God, of course. I'm talking about providing for their family. Let me tell you something, Heath. When my mother brought me here, my mom, she had a second grade education. My father was the provider. While my father was alive, we were rich. No joke. I'm not kidding. We were rich in our neighborhood. And what happens? He passed away when I was 4 years old. My mom depended on my father 120%. She used to do laundry for neighbors on top of our clothes. Now, you know how heavy jeans get. She used to do that by hand. My mom, if you ever see me in life, I got a big back. That's from my mother's side. My strength is from my Indian side, which is my father. But I'm telling you, my mother cleaned. She was a cook. She did everything. Everything. Now, she was never my father, but she took the responsibility on forth. She was the best mother anybody can have. And when she came to this country, the only one thing that she can do was two things. One was clean houses. So my love goes to you, Heath, if you have ever done that, because you have helped somebody like me, a mother that I had like I had when she was alive. So the second thing that she can do is clean and take care of kids. So I remember when she brought me to this country, before I started going to school, I was 13 years old, and we went to this big house. It was a Rambler. And I don't know if the people were rich. I mean, to me, every American was rich because we come from a poor country. But I remember that she would have me. This is how much my mom trusted me, because she raised me to be a good kid. She told me, clean up the kids' room. And I will go in there. And I kid you not, guys. I kid you not. And you probably have this in your home. When I used to go in there to clean up, I grab the bed sheets, take them off, because my mom would do the laundry for them as well. We spent like 4 hours in there. So she would do the laundry for them. She didn't have to, but she did it. That's my mom. And then I will try to fix the bed with the new sheets and whatnot. And there was 5, 20, 10, 5, dollar bills everywhere, even on the floor. I don't know if they were setting me up back then, but it was my job to clean it up. And I grab every single bill and I straighten it. And then I put them together, one on top of the other. I grab all the quarters, put the quarters all together, all the quarters, dimes, nickels, and I will call my mom and say, Mom, what do you think? And then she looked and she says, I am so proud of you, son. And I don't even have to ask you if you took any money. She trusted me 100%. And part of that, I believe, is probably the Christian side of my mother. But you know what? The bosses were so good to her. She was such a good cleaner. She was such a good person. They used to give her double what she charged. I remember for Christmas, this Americans, and the Americans is not white people, by the way, even though most of them were, but there were some Indians, they're like from India. There were some people from Panama, which was one of her favorite employers, right, that let her clean the house. No, not Panama. She was Colombian. Yeah, Colombian, but she's the black Colombian. And she used to give my mother money all the time. And then one time I was cleaning her kid's room, and she said that her husband didn't trust me, the kid. And so he put a camera in his son's room, and they called me up, and he said, did you know that we put a camera in the room, and we saw you cleaning my son's room? And there was all that money that was all over the floor. And I was nervous because I was like, maybe I didn't do a good job. Maybe I left it dirty. I failed my mom. And they say, like really strict. And they said, and we recorded everything you did. And then they changed their face into a loving face and tells me, we are so proud of you, son. Man, I'm going to get emotional. I shouldn't talk about that story no more. They actually gave me $100. And they blessed me. But that's my mom. So Heath, that's the story that you brought up. I apologize, I made it too long. But in this country is the land of opportunity. It really is. We love migrants to be here, but they got to be legal. Okay? So in the same way, there has been a lot of people that have been living this lie of oppression. And the only reason why they think they are oppressed is because they are taught that. So sad today, you see criminals are getting younger and younger and younger. I've seen a group of like 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, maybe 10, stealing some clothing and toys from like a Target or something. You guys may have seen a video like that. But it's crazy. So little, and they already talk so dirty, so bad. It is crazy. This is why I'm doing these lives. I know that I come in here with a goal that I'm going to talk about one thing or a couple of things, but then there's people like you guys that come in here and ask me questions, and you really just, what you do is you shake my brain and you bring out history that I have studied, life experience that I have had. Half a century old, believe me, you learn a lot. Thank you, Heath. I appreciate it. Your mom was the same way my wife is. My mom used to say that I should have married a Filipino woman. My wife doesn't like this story, but she always told me that because the Filipinas that she knew, they were hard workers. They always kept the house clean, she said, and they loved their husbands very much. And that's what she used to say about me. And my wife does that and more for me, but that was my mom's ideals of the Filipino people. She really loved them. Let's see, what else do we have in here? Man, the chat on my mother is so slow. I think I thank you guys for your support. I can't see everything on there. I'm not sure what the chat is a little laggy. But thank you guys so much for your love. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the likes and for the subscribes. The people that talk bad about you, one thing that I can say, and hopefully that I can be better in life, it's trying to give people a better example that words, they don't kill you. They might make you uncomfortable, And maybe hearing the truth might be very uncomfortable. But honesty, use your common sense. If we respect each other, we can accomplish a lot of things together. And instead of fighting Democrat or Republican, remember, first, you are an American. You are an American, and that's what's important. Everything else we can discuss and we can talk, all right? But just remember that. Let me see. Let me go ahead and read some names on here. MP says, bless your heart. Hopefully the good bless your heart, not the sarcastic one. I know. Texans have taught me some stuff. There is a good bless your heart, and there's the other bless your heart. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, don't think you got me on that. Let's see. Who's going to round you up, and everyone's going to laugh. I hope everybody is laughing, but hopefully of something good. John Lemons or Lemons, thank you so much. I appreciate your chat there. That's some love right there from my patriotic Americans. I love it. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I mean it. Connections, huh? Speak English. Not English. You know what? Maybe one of these days I'll pretend to have some weird accent. I just really suck at accents. MP223, legit blessed. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Hopefully it's a brother. I'm not over here mispronouncing. What did the leftists say? Misgenderizing. By the way, there's only two genders. All right, let's keep that clear. Much love to everybody, guys. I will say this: stop playing the victimhood card. We all go through hard times. We all go through very difficult times, but we are here in America, and we are going to treat everybody with respect. If you see Hispanics out there, even at Home Depot, don't assume that they're illegal. And most likely they are, but you know what I mean? Like, don't assume they're illegal. Treat them with respect. Don't talk shit about them. But at the same time, if ICE comes for them, it's because they got something on someone. And when people start running, they just look guilty, and they're also going to be taken. Stop yelling La Migra, because American agents, they know what that means. And when you say that, you are confirming that you are an illegal immigrant in this state. So here's for all of you loving people in here that support illegal immigration, let me give you some advice. Stay quiet, love this country, respect the people, act like an American, and do the best that you can in your best behavior. Chances are you might get some papers sometime. You know, who knows? Maybe you can marry somebody that puts up with your ass. I don't know. Maybe you're a good person and you're just mad because you don't understand how the immigration laws work or how much damage or harm illegal immigration causes to other countries. Mass migration is like a cancer. There is no way to survive it. So you got to clean it up. You got to go to treatment. You know what? Cancer patients go, and by the way, my mother died of cancer on her throat. So if you get offended by me talking about cancer, I don't give a shit. I will say that people that have survived cancer have fought. And as much as I saw my mom suffering, I know it's very difficult. So my hat's off to you for being survivors. And I'm sorry if you have lost somebody to cancer. But you know that people that go through really, really bad cancer, they go through some very nasty medicine, very nasty treatments. A lot of people lose their hair. They're not happy because they're in pain. The same thing happens, but not in the same way, but the same thing, metaphorically speaking, happens with the country. Little by little, the country's dying unless you get that treatment. And right now you're seeing people being deported left and right. It's not nice. It doesn't feel good, but it's necessary. A lot of people have been waiting for years and years to become legal in this country, have been working tirelessly to prove themselves to this government. And you know what happens to them? They got deported because 21 million illegal immigrants, which unfortunately a high percentage of that are really bad criminals. They lost their opportunity to get papers. There was a lot of people with DACA documents, they got deported. Papers were It's expired. Why didn't Democrats get those papers renewed on time? Because they don't care. They just care about staying in power. He says, would you mind leading us in prayer? It's a pleasure meeting you. I love this country, and I think prayer would be nice. Absolutely. Number one, all of those who are opposed to this country, you will also benefit. The rain falls on the good and the bad. But I will follow you on that request, Heath. It's not something that I can deny. I ask. Now, I believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, so hopefully you're on the same page. I ask God our Father to please forgive us. Please forgive this nation. We give you praise and we thank you for everything that we have to endure, and also for those that we enjoy living in our life. We pray that you give every American, every patriot, the strength, but most importantly, enlighten them so that they can see the truth, so that common sense becomes clear to them. I also pray for those that are in this country illegally, that they find a way to get back home. And if they find a way to be able to stay in this land, that they do it with respect, with honor, and with their heart. We pray, Father, that you forgive us our sins. Give us our daily bread. Help every single day strengthen us to renew our mind and our spirit. We know the flesh is weak, but I see a lot of Americans. I see a lot of people with a good heart, my Lord. I pray that you really have mercy on all of us. Of all the blood and all the wars and all the atrocities that have happened throughout history, not just in America, but throughout the world. May we learn from our mistakes. May be once and for all rid of all anger, vengeance, false testimonies. I pray that you strengthen and enlighten and give the wisdom to our President, Donald J. Trump, that is in office right now. By your will, we believe he's in office. We don't trust in him. We don't trust on anybody on that administration. But we trust in you, Lord, that you have everything under control and that your Holy Spirit is guiding us where we need to go. We pray again that you have mercy on us. Please forgive us. We give you thank you for all the mercy that you have shown us. We don't deserve it, but we thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ, that died for us on the cross. I pray that people understand what the sacrifice actually means for our souls, for our lives. He didn't die for us sinners so that we can continue to be sinners. As sinners, God, you, Father, we know that you don't see us because your word tells us that you can't stand sin. But you gave your only begotten Son so that when we believe in him, that he is your Son, and we call to you on his name, that we are able to finally be seen again by you. You are the Almighty, all-powerful, all-knowing. You're omnipresent. You know the past, the present, and the future. We don't. We are insignificant humans, and we owe everything that is good to you, and forgive us for all the bad that we do and we have done. Help us see the way clearer. I pray for myself so that I can have strength. Put the wisdom in my mouth and my words so that I can show love to those that hate me, so that I can show love to those who deserve to be loved. And that includes everybody. Help me follow your commandment to love my neighbor as you have loved us. And what greater sacrifice than to die for another. In Jesus' name, our Christ Lord, we ask you that your will be done here on earth as it is always done in heaven. Amen. Thank you, Heath, for that request. Normally, I don't do the prayers like that, but this is a channel where we talk about religion, politics, and other things that happen in life. I hope that the Holy Spirit touches and calls on to those whom he chooses. Many, many are called, says the Bible, but very few will be chosen. I hope that everybody on this chat is chosen. If you know that you've done bad in the past, there's no time to waste. But our lives are not guaranteed. We got to make a change. If you want to know the truth, you got to seek it. If you want to see God, you got to truly repent. If you don't repent, you will never see him. You will never experience him. People think that I'm brown-nosing because I said that I love Americans. That I think that America is the greatest, brightest light beacon on this earth of darkness. They think I'm brown-nosing. I'm an American citizen already. I got a job, got my wife, I got my kids. I will say I'm divorced once. I have kids out of wedlock when I was younger. Those are my mistakes. And the reason why I paid 22 and a half years of child support. But you know what? As we say in my country, no nos rajamos. We don't quit. We step up to the responsibility that we have. And many successful families today are only successful because of their resilience and because of their trust in God. Remember that the blessings fall like the rain over the good and the bad. So don't just think that because somebody is rich, they are in God, or because somebody is poor, they don't have God. Our reward is not going to be here on earth. And if we get something nice on earth, God bless God. To God be the glory. All the glory is to him. And if we happen to be able to enjoy some moments of happiness on this earth, then we will always give him thanks for it. Just like you guys have done tonight. I appreciate it. God bless you all, man. Donald Trump, he's one of a kind. I've known Trump, not personally, but I've known of him since the 90s. Since The Apprentice, since before Epstein, since before Hillary Clinton and the whole Clinton family tried to go against him, since, before Barack Obama. I mean, he's become more popular in the United States because of all the fake charges that they put on him. You got you have porn stars that somehow they think that they're innocent of something, but they get paid money to do stuff that, of course, we don't support. But this is a past life. These are mistakes that he has made, like every single one of us. We have made mistakes. But we all, while we still have breath, we can change our future. See, we can change the past. But today is your present. Literally, it's your present. So that now you can do something better for your future. That's how that works. And if you believe in God and you accepted that prayer, you will be blessed. And you will find peace and happiness instead of hate and resentment. You'll be able to see the truth for what it is. When you hear people talking about, we have common sense, you don't understand because you don't have common sense. Not yet, but I'm sure you will. Let me grab a couple of comments here. All right. I don't want to bore you guys too much with that. Heath, man, I appreciate your support, man. Thank you so much. May God bless you 10 times fold for your blessings today. He says, thank you, sir. God will bless you. I love even those here and that don't agree. That's what we're supposed to do. Okay, so I think somebody's trying to say something here. Juan de Jesus says, read mine, Dennis. Juan de Jesus. I don't see it. Oh, okay. So Juan de Jesus says that, I'm assuming that you're talking about Donald Trump. He always bankrupts everything. Yep, he's got some mistakes on there, that's for sure. Big mistakes under his belt. And I hope that instead of having a tragical judgment of him, that you've learned that even Donald Trump, which comes from a rich family, was negative 900 million, I believe. And he was going to lose everything. But he never gave up. He never made an excuse to say, oh, somebody else is richer than me. I can't make it. Too much competition. He didn't say that. He went and got an investment, and he did something to flip $1 billion. I believe it was more, but I don't want to exaggerate. Trump Towers were in trouble, bankruptcy. Trotter University, some shady stuff happened. I believe that was bankruptcy as well. You see, there is a system that is put in place for all of us. Rich, poor, it don't matter your social economic status. Everybody can claim bankruptcy. Now, there's different kinds of bankruptcies. There's bankruptcies where you have to give away all your assets, and there's bankruptcies where you can do some of it. Well, that's what Trump has done. And he's multiplied that. He's made billions of dollars. Not only did God put him in office, but he has already made hundreds of billions of dollars. And it's only been a few months. The deals with tariffs, we haven't seen anything yet. Nothing we have seen from tariffs. Just wait. Right now it's just hundreds of billions. Wait until next year. If you stick with me, I want you to throw it in my face if I'm wrong. But I believe it. I see it. Everything that he has said has come true. And every investment that he has made sense to me. And it has worked. Matter of fact, he made me some money with stocks. I know a lot of people don't play stocks, but I play very conservative. So I don't make as much, but I have made a lot more money than what I had before. Believe that. Please watch the documentary of Israelism. Is that because a good thing or a bad thing? Israel's not perfect. Let's not forget that it was the Jews who crucified Jesus Christ. Now, some people that are Jews, they say, no, we didn't. It was the Romans. But we know the story. Jersey says that I'm missing all my brain cells. No, but I got 3 minutes left on my live. Babe? Kolai? Oh my gosh. My wife is out. All right. I got a few more minutes on my chat today. David, I'm from Honduras, if you were talking about me. I missed some comments, guys. I apologize. I've been concentrating on all this stuff. Let's see. Eyes will show you no mercy. If only that PA sniper knew how to shoot. Even if it did, I believe God saved them. So, hey, I guess you were right. Whoever said that I always make excuses for Trump, I guess I always do. Who knows? Maybe it's God's will that I make excuses for him. I think the only mistake that he has made, maybe a couple of them, but the only mistake was in misinterpreting the MS-13 symbols on the knuckles, even though that's what it means. And then what was the other thing that he did? You see, his administration gives him the information and then he runs with it. But I think he's learning. He's learning to actually verify stuff before he tells us. Many people keep making him look bad. I talk about Stephen A. Smith talking about we don't keep promises and that Donald Trump needs to keep his promises to Ukraine. Watch the difference between Biden, Obama, Clinton, and Trump making promises for Ukraine, between Ukraine and Russia. Watch the difference. Bill Clinton was in office. Russia didn't care. They tried to make a deal, didn't work. Boom, attack Ukraine. I think it was when they took Crimea. Crimea? You guys know the name. The other one was Barack Obama. He said some words, nothing came to it. Russia still, and Ukraine still attacking. They're still fighting. Biden goes in there, and instead of putting a stronghold on Putin, gives Ukraine the go-ahead to go ahead and defend themselves, and we gave them $186 billion to defend themselves. Now watch this. Zelensky comes to the office. You guys know this one. When he came in there with a T-shirt, the disrespect. How dare he? I mean, I love wearing suits. I mean, you know what? Next time I think I'll probably put a suit on just for you guys. I love suits. But he shows up to the Oval Office, right? Entitled. Hey, but you got to give me the money. I got a war to fight. You got to give me the money, right? He comes in there disrespecting President Donald Trump, his administration, right? He doesn't say thank you. He's being very defensive. I will give him an excuse that his English is worse than mine, and he doesn't understand the metaphor of cards on hand. He doesn't understand. They thought they were playing a game. But very disrespectful. And boom, now we have another meeting. Donald Trump says, I'm going to go talk with Putin. And within 2 minutes of that meeting, I will know if something can be done. He didn't promise a ceasefire. He's want that from before, but he knows it's not necessary. He doesn't deny that he wants a ceasefire, but because he have noticed that other countries didn't do a ceasefire before the agreement was reached, he didn't promise that this time. And so now he knows better. Everybody learns. They say old dogs can't learn new tricks, but that's not true. This one does. And so he goes and talks to Putin. Okay, apparently there's something that can be worked out. And then now we have Zelensky, and NATO comes over to the Oval Office, which is a couple of days ago. And then Trump says, hey, listen, we need to reach a deal. And Zelensky says, hey, so are you going to protect me? I want to know if you're going to protect me. And Donald Trump says, yes, I will protect you. And what is the difference? Donald Trump did a precision strike on Iran's nuclear facilities. Now Putin says, damn, if I don't keep my promise with this guy, he's going to throw one of those in my house. And he probably will. Now, some people get ahead and they say, oh, you know, like in Fox, right? In Fox, what's his name? Jesse? Nah. What's the guy from Fox? See, I don't watch Fox all the time like you guys think I do. But he is one of the late night, I guess, night shows or whatever. I only watch it on YouTube. I don't have cable. We do, but I don't go watch it in the living room. So he goes, you know, Trump was flexing with the B-2 bomber, blah, blah, blah. This is what I saw. Now, Democrats complain that he put a red carpet for Putin. Well, he had a red carpet for himself, and I think they do that for every president or minister that comes over here, that they go and meet Trump in person. Now, if they just come over here, I'm not sure the red carpet is there all the time, but here's the thing. The B-2 bomber flies over, and Putin looks up, and he's like, dang, B-2 bomber, 6 jet fighters that will knock out Russia in a heartbeat. And Donald Trump just pats him on the shoulder. Don't worry, it's just a show. Democrats are losing it. And they're like, oh, look at Trump. He's over there flexing. Well, peace through strength, baby. Peace through strength. And what does Putin do? Because he's also an alpha guy. He goes, oh, yeah, that's nice. Pretty good show, right? Now, some people think that Donald Trump was flexing. Maybe flexing a little bit, right? But I think that he did that really just to show him the force. Nah, I guess he was flexing. I don't know. I can't even defend that. He was flexing. He was letting him know what's going to happen if he reneges on this deal, okay? So NATO praised Donald Trump. Zelensky praised Donald Trump. And not praised like God. Just praises and, respected. Gave thanks multiple times. He gave thanks. He came in as a spoiled little child, and Donald Trump talked to him directly. He comes back the next time. Now he has a jacket suit on. Now he says, thank you very much, a lot. And now he's humbled. And he knows how to ask, how to gain favor. It doesn't make him smaller. In my opinion, I'm proud of Zelensky doing that. It's not easy for a man that believes he's strong to humble themselves. But it is the Christian thing to do. Now, I know that, hey, J Money, are the Coyotes getting deposited? they bring in the illegal ones. They'll probably get some EFT, bro, the electronic ETF, electronic transfer fund. But you know what? I'm really proud of Zelensky. He started coming over here, came in here like a cocky guy, and then, now he's a real man. Now he's a real leader. I mean, Ukraine and Russians, man, they lost, I think, probably in the millions now. It's been going on for a long time, this war. And because of Trump's way, you see prime ministers, whether they have talked crap about him before or they have talked bad about him, it doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. The fact is that they respect America, and that's what's important. Think you're American? Grumpy. Why are you so grumpy? You know I'm American. They made more money than me. They really did, man. Now, here's the thing. I got to go. I really got to go. I'm over my time, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the chats, guys. I really appreciate that. It does make your message pop up more, so it helps me read it when it comes on. But to end up, oh man, I got to take my daughter to go swimming. So I promise. And every time that I'm around this time, YouTube always give me a little signal that it's time to finish. So I want to say I'm proud of Zelensky. I think that the leaders throughout the world, they know Donald Trump, how he talks, how he reacts, and most importantly, they respect the United States of America again. We are no longer the laughing stock of the world. Now even China has to wait his turn to make a deal with us. Hopefully, Donald Trump can accomplish a lot more things within the next 3.5 years, or less than a half now. But we want manufacturers back. We want to have our own medicine being built here. We want to have everything, products that we need for, to survive in this country. We want to make all that stuff here. And I don't want to hear excuses from Americans that don't want to pay more for the product, because you're paying more for the product anyway. You guys don't care that an iPhone is $1,500 now. It used to be $500, then $700, then $1,000. Now it's $1,600. And the next iPhone 18 is probably going to be like $2,500. And guess what? That's not going to stop you from buying it. If you can pay $110,000 for a foreign car, you can pay $60,000 for an American car, or $110,000 for a big-ass truck that is very nice, American-made. And remember, if you listen to what the big, beautiful bill has, if you bought a car or you're leasing, you got a loan to get a car made in America, I believe that you can put that on your next year's refund taxes as a deduction, up to $10,000 of that money, interest money that you're paying on the big loan. That's all Donald Trump. That's the Republicans. Because the majority in Congress, that bill barely passed. The Senate barely passed. And they took a lot of money off of it. Even though we knew that because of Trump's tariffs on his first term, we made $4.1 trillion in 2024. Regardless of whatever prices were going up or whatever you want to think, it was Donald Trump that did that. And Biden, even though he had that advance, he still ruined it. I don't blame him because of the disease, but I blame every single Democrat that was in office that abused his mental state. And with that being said, they are destroying democracy. Not us, not Donald Trump, not the administration. Democrats are destroying democracy, number one, by cheating on the elections. Man, I'm just never going to be able to say goodbye. Guys, thank you so much. Maddie, Heath, J Money. I think I might be missing one in there. Thank you for your support. I appreciate the love. Tomorrow, 5 p.m., I'll come back and do another live. Until then, I want you guys to have a good night. God bless you, your family, and God bless the USA. Go Patriots.